My name's Glenn. This is my 2011 Volvo C30 T5 R design. So when I came back from Iraq, I spent 2010 in Iraq, so 2011 was when I made this purchase. At the time, it was the cheapest, smallest Volvo, the only one available with a manual transmission. I bought it through the military sales program in Germany, which included an option to travel up to the factory in Sweden and do a factory delivery. It was a great experience. Flew up there on Ryanair with a license plate in my backpack and got the whole factory tour, ate some Swedish food, and then drove this thing back through Sweden, Denmark, and Germany. This R design right here is a bit different than the standard T5 model. The only way you can get a manual transmission, I believe, with this car. At the time, this was the only hatchback available from any of the military sales programs. Most Americans that are over in Germany, they'll do a Volvo SUV or a BMW sedan. I was the exception to the rule. Either you're going to pick up a Volvo XC90, XC60 for someone with a family, or if it's a single soldier, they usually get themselves a BMW 3 Series, something along those lines. So not too many of us purchased these. I think they were only made between 09 and 13, I want to say. So they had a limited run. 11. I think this may be one of the first years of the redesign. This is really what's interesting about this is the Volvo P1800, which was, I believe, what, 70s, 80s, maybe even 60s. The Volvo P1800 had a cult following. This was a redesign of that. So really from the front end of this car, it's similar to, I think, an S40, similar to some of the other Volvo sedans. It's the rear that makes it completely different. A lot of people don't really know this vehicle. I've actually heard from some fellow owners that they're often parked out front of ritzy hotels along with the other luxury sport cars, because valets really to see this as something really more expensive than what it is. Believe it or not, this was actually built in the factory in Belgium, not in the factory in Sweden, even though I did the factory delivery in Sweden. The crossbars add a lot of versatility. I carry bike racks up there. You can put a cargo box up there. If I open the rear, you can see with the rear seats folded down, you have decent coverage. You have decent storage right here, as long as you fold those rear seats down. But once you have the rear seats folded up, I mean, they're bucket seats back there. It's difficult to get 4 adults in there, but you can do it. But yeah, the trunk space is limited when you have the back seats folded up. I was talking to the R design, which gives you the leather seats, different styling. The standard T5s are going to have black trim along the bottom. I'm not a car expert by any means, but I was told a Volvo is a smart man's BMW. So I was kind of just thinking, let me do something different than everybody else. The BMW sedans, they were a great deal through military sales, but the discount was not as deep as Volvo offered, believe it or not. Floating, I think they call that a floating dash in there. So that floating dash design right there, that's like a Scandinavian type of style right there, where you have that decent storage there. You got some cup holders under that roller right there. Here, I'll slide that open.
Oh, very nice.
Well, they're fully reclined. You got some memory settings so you can lock in whatever position you want. But I mean, it's great to be able to get my daughter in. I can slide it all the way forward, and you know, she'll have plenty of room to get in there. Yeah, to move the seat forward. So
I see.
Yep, to bring it forward.
Cool. That's an interesting feature.
US spec, totally US spec vehicle. But this car definitely does get a little bit of attention when I'm out and about. I think that's all R design. You're right. I think it's like the R design. I definitely pay a little more for it, but the R design, and I think it shows the dash on the grill. It shows that it's the R design, and I think that's already wearing off. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what's making it unique, is that you get a completely different body package. You'll see a huge difference between the standard T5 C30 and the R design. I mean, it looks like a completely different, as long as the trim is